You know that feeling, right? The cake appears, the candles are blazing, and then it starts. That slightly out-of-tune chorus of happy birthday aimed directly at you. For a day that's supposed to be pure joy, why do so many of us just want to sink into the floor? All right, let's get into it. Let's figure out why birthdays can feel like the most awkward day of the entire year.
I mean, it's this exact moment, isn't it? You've got that frozen smile plastered on your face, you don't know what to do with your hands, where are you even supposed to look? It's this bizarre, universal cringy feeling on a day that is supposed to be anything but.
And hey, if you thought you were the only one feeling this, let me tell you, you are so not alone. This Reddit user they put it perfectly. It's the ultimate internal cringe. And the fact that this feeling is so common tells us there's something much deeper going on here than just, a badly sung song. It's all about the pressure.
So that brings us to our first big reason, what I'm calling the spotlight problem. It's that feeling when every single eyeball in the room is locked onto you, and you're not even doing anything. You're just sitting there. For a lot of people, that spotlight doesn't feel warm and fuzzy. It feels like a blistering interrogation lamp.
This isn't just you being shy. It's a real thing with a real name, birthday anxiety, and it's totally legitimate. Psychologists point out that pretty much any time you're supposed to be happy, it can backfire and create this setup for disappointment and stress. It's the pressure to feel a specific way that actually causes the problem in the first place.
And look at all the different ways this anxiety shows up. It's not just about being the center of attention. It can be this nagging feeling that you don't really deserve to be celebrated. Or, and this is a big one, the anxiety of having to perform being happy for everyone. Even just getting gifts and having to say thank you over and over can feel like you're reading lines from a script you never asked for.
And that pressure to perform, well, it leads us directly to our next huge issue, the massive, gaping chasm between our expectations for a birthday and what the reality actually is. We're sold this picture-perfect idea of what the day should be, and, well, real life rarely looks like that. This really breaks down that conflict perfectly. We expect these huge, memorable parties, but the reality can be just crushing disappointment if things don't go to plan. We hope for this outpouring of genuine love, and instead we get a wall of generic HBD messages from people we haven't spoken to in years. And let's not forget the financial stress and that constant pressure to just be happy all day long. It's exhausting.
So really what it all boils down to is this deep desire for authenticity. This user absolutely nails it. The frustration isn't about the day itself. It's about feeling like you have to follow some unwritten social rulebook, to act a certain way, to want certain things, instead of just doing what would actually make you happy, even if that's doing absolutely nothing at all.
But, for some people, the problem runs so much deeper than just social awkwardness or pressure. Sometimes birthdays are genuinely painful because they carry the heavy weight of the past.
For a lot of folks, birthdays aren't this happy, clean slate each year. They can be an annual reminder of a tough childhood, a family drama, or moments that they would really, really rather forget. So instead of a celebration, the day just becomes a trigger, bringing all those old wounds right back to the surface.
And this is a heartbreakingly common story. When a day that's supposed to be about you was consistently hijacked and made about someone else's drama or ego, you learn to dread it. You basically learn that celebration comes with strings attached, and that it often just leads to pain. And beyond that kind of trauma, birthdays can also become these monuments to grief. When a birthday is tangled up with the loss of someone you love, it's pretty much impossible to separate the celebration of your life from the memory of their death.
The story is it's absolutely devastating. And it captures so perfectly how a birthday can be permanently rewritten by a tragedy. The day itself turns into this painful anniversary. It becomes a reminder that incredible joy can be followed by incredible loss. And that makes it almost impossible to ever fully embrace that joy again.
So when you think about all this pressure and all this potential for pain, it's really no wonder that a ton of people have just adopted a completely different way of thinking about it. Instead of trying to force a celebration, they've completely reframed the day itself.
This quote from writer Mabel Kwong just hits the nail on the head. I mean, who made the rule that all of our gratitude and celebration has to be crammed into one single, totally arbitrary date on the calendar? Why can't we just spread that feeling out over the whole year?
Adopting this mindset can be so incredibly liberating. It's about remembering that, the world keeps spinning, and that real true friendships aren't proven by one Facebook post, but by showing up for each other consistently. And, as one person pointed out, if you don't really feel like you've accomplished much, celebrating another year can just feel kind of empty and unearned.
So, if the whole idea of a traditional birthday is kind of broken for so many of us, what do we do? Well, the solution isn't to just cancel birthdays forever. It's about taking them back. It's about reclaiming the day and making it actually work for you.
All right, so here's the game plan. Step 1, figure out what a celebration actually means to you. Is it a quiet day with a good book? A hike in the mountains? Ordering a pizza and just vegging out? Step 2, you have to tell people what you want and what you don't want. And 3, you got to ignore what everyone else is doing on social media. The goal is not to have the best birthday, it's to have your birthday.
This quote really it sums everything up, doesn't it? The anxiety all comes from chasing this idea of what a birthday should look like. But the peace, that comes from accepting and celebrating who you are and where you are, right here, right now.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What if we shifted the whole focus? What if it's not about marking the passage of time, but about appreciating the present moment? Maybe then, the day could finally become what it was always supposed to be, a genuine moment of peace and joy, completely on your own terms.